I started Motherhood is Wild podcast about halfway through my pregnancy, and I stopped before I gave birth. My daughter is now 19 months, and a lot has happened between now and then. I have so many reasons why I stopped doing the podcast and so many reasons why I'm starting it up again. I feel like there are so many things that we go through as mothers, and while so many of them are positive, there are also so many negative things about being a mom out there that are just not talked about enough. And I'm not here to talk about negative things. I'm more so here to talk about why they shouldn't be negative. There's so much shame and guilt when it comes to being a mom, and that should not be a thing. It seems like no matter what I do, I'm doing it all wrong. I can't be a working woman because I'm a mom. I can't be a stay-at-home mom without doing it wrong. I'm not doing enough. I'm doing too much. It's exhausting. I want to bring to light my own experiences with all of these things and how I'm trying to not let them define me or get to me for that matter. And the internet is quite a truly cruel place, unfortunately, but it holds such a prominent space in my life. Doing YouTube was never something that I imagined as a mom, I guess because I never imagined I'd be a mom. So that's where the infertility issues come in. But miracles do happen, and my daughter is one of them. She is my world, and she changed it drastically. In the midst of my social media influencer career, if you will, I never thought that I'd become a mom. I never thought that I would get pregnant or that I could, and I wasn't sure what my life would look like moving forward. There are a lot of factors that would play into my life moving forward, and I wasn't sure what that would look like. My pregnancy was extremely difficult, and my daughter was not the easiest baby either. I suffered from postpartum depression, and I still have really dark and hard days. But a lot of my days are much brighter than they used to be, and I'm so grateful for that. Part of the reason why I stopped doing the podcast in the first place was because of the judgment and the scrutiny. When you put yourself out there for the world to judge, it can be really hard to not let it get to you. And sometimes it's just easier to retreat and let people think what they want to think about you and let them think that they won. So I did that for a while. But I've come to the realization that, especially now that I'm a mom, and especially since I have a daughter, that sometimes the best thing to do isn't retreat. Sometimes being your authentic self is exactly what you need to do. No, that's always what you need to do. Because there's always going to be someone who doesn't agree with you. There's always going to be someone who is going to judge you and going to shame you. But there's always going to be those who can relate, those who can see that they are not alone and that they are not the only ones dealing with the same things that you're dealing with. So to be that person for them, to be someone who puts themselves out there to be judged, it's worth it. People are always going to judge you and shame you, but if we can be our authentic selves and not let that judgment and that shame from those people who don't even know us break us down, that's just going to empower us. That's where the beauty really begins. So this is me giving my all in its rawest and most authentic form. Motherhood is Wild is about motherhood in its rawest form. There are so many things that I experienced during pregnancy and after pregnancy that nobody talks about. And sometimes I'd find myself doing some major Googling and deep diving just to realize that what I was experiencing was completely normal, but nobody talks about it. So I'm here to talk about it. I'm here to talk about all those things, the good things, the bad things, the ugly, the gross but totally normal, and the sad things and the happy things and everything in between. And if my daughter ever grows up and God forbid something happens to me and I'm not there to talk to her about these things, she will always have these videos to look back on. And so for now, between you and me, new friends and old friends, I hope you know what you're getting yourself into, because motherhood is not always pretty and it definitely isn't always easy, but we can all enjoy this journey together. So I want to welcome you to the podcast. Over the course of the next few weeks, I will be re-releasing the handful of podcast episodes that I had filmed previously for Motherhood is Wild. So be on the lookout for those. And once those are finished, we will be jumping into even more Motherhood is Wild. So I'm so excited for you guys to be here. I am your host, Jaylena, and if you guys have anything that you would like to talk about, whether it be something that is just not talked about enough as a mom or being pregnant, or just something else in general that you'd like to discuss, please comment down below and let me know, because we are going to dive into all of the things. And I'm so excited to start this journey with you again. Welcome to Motherhood is Wild, the podcast.